All right, some little install tricks here now, guys. Now, I have 5 pieces ready to go. I have 1 piece, 2 piece, I got this 3rd piece out here, I got 2 more pieces along the wall right there that work me all the way over to that sliding glass door that you see right there. So those pieces are all cut and ready to go, and I have indeed test fit them also. Now, when I'm coming around something like this, nice little outside corner right here, I just don't want to shoot this piece on and then go to shoot this piece on and then go to shoot this piece on. Some of these outside corner assemblies like this, I like to pre-assemble, okay? And that way, keeps the outsides of our joints nice and tight. And if that thing doesn't sit, if our entire assembly doesn't sit entirely tight against the wall, it's not that big of a deal. Remember, we got a caulk line going in here. And I'm good at caulking, making this look good. So, as far as assembly goes, outside corners especially important. Use some glue. Boom. Get some glue on there right away. It doesn't have to be a bunch. But we're going to pre-assemble this. None of this stuff is nailed to the wall yet. I've kind of laid out where my studs are going to go. I'm also using my tiny little micro brad 23 gauge brad nailer. This guy right here. And you'll see why I like to use this in my outside corner. But now, I'm holding this together. I want to make sure my outside corners nice and tight and beautiful right there. And that looks pretty darn good. You can use the wall to give yourself something to shoot against here, but I'll even go all the way up top here and boom, 1 in there, a couple down the side, 2, 3. I can even pull this thing over here, put a couple nails on this side if I'd like to. I've got 1 piece of my assembly done. Outside corner looks good. I've got glue on it. You see the nails? I can barely see the nails. Now, am I done? Well, I could put this piece on and try and put the next piece on there, but it's a big long piece. Maybe I'll just slide it out here, down on top of my rosin paper. Here's my assembly. Get some glue on my joint here. It's time for me to refill my glue bottle. Going through a bit of it. Now I'm going to put it together. Get those outside corners nice and tight right here to where I like them, which right about there is where I like them. So I'm going to give nail. Oh, let's put a nail up here. I'll get a nail here. Another suggestion I have for baseboard, guys, same thing with our casing. Pre-paint everything first. At least give it 1 coat, because it's a whole lot easier to paint that stuff sitting on sawhorses. And then it's going to need another coat anyway. You're going to have to fill all these holes, because the first thing we do is go and blast a bunch of holes in these things to put them together. And they're going to need to be touched up, holes filled, and repainted. So get a coat down there first, so you don't have to spend days on your knees painting this all up. Now, I have this entire assembly, if you can see right here. It's going to fit right around this corner. Take accurate measurements. Going in. Boom. I think that looks pretty good around there. If I fold back my rosin paper here, you can see I'm down pretty tight. I'm up tight to my cabinet, tight around the corners, a little bit of a gap here. Nothing that my expert caulking skills can't cure. So now I am ready. Switch to the big nails. Now I'm using my 15 gauge nails. Remember, this entire assembly is attached to each other, or it's attached to itself. So push it in tight, get it where you want it. Start out with some nails to hold her into place. As you can see, we're going over hardwood floors right here, you guys. Nail up top. I know I'm hitting in the corner. I know there's a stud out there. Down here, I'll keep this nail nice and low right there. Right there. Looks good. Maybe I'll even just put 1 right here. This corner, everything is attached to itself. If you get a few points where it's attached to the wall, it physically can't go anywhere. Another little tip is that, like I said, we're on hardwood right here. There's also going to be shoe molding going down here. All these holes are going to have to get filled and touched up when it's all said and done. If you can keep this low nail right here, lower than about 11/16, 5/8 of an inch, 3/4. If you can keep it lower than 3/4, you'll never have to go back and touch up any one of those nails, because by the time you put the shoe molding on, it just covers it all up. So anyway, that's a around the corner assembly for our baseboard right there. As you can see, that takes me all the way over here into that corner where I've got another piece, and then I've got another piece waiting for me over in that corner. So as I get over here, my pieces run into the corner. This is the one wall I didn't lay out where the studs were, of course. But all I need to do is get this thing set right now. So I keep one nail down low, maybe one nail right there. I know it's not going anywhere, I can tell you that much. One right outside my vent here. Yep. But now I can turn and I can head into this corner. Now, this whole piece you see right here is ever so slightly long. But as I go to snap fit this piece in, I want you to see what happens. I put it in, hang on piece. I set my long piece in tight to this corner. I come down here, I give it a little bit of a flex so it's short. As we snap tight and come into place here, boom, very few gaps in there. And that's what my cope does for me right there. Now by the time it's all said and done, I'll have a bead of caulk right here, a bead of caulk along the top. Everything will look beautiful, but that's a cope. Generally, the square piece, this is the piece we cut square, this is the piece we coped right here. What I like to not do is not nail all the way to this inside corner. Let the pressure of this piece coming in hold this one where it's going to be. Okay? And then we can nail this one tight all the way down. Now I will still nail this piece all the way down to like right about here, wherever the last stud is, but I don't nail the inside corner because the pressure from this piece right here is what's going to hold it in there. And you'll wind up with a perfect inside corner like this. Remember, that cut took me probably less than a minute to do with the jigsaw right there. You'll have to do it all over the place in all these rooms, but well worth it because this joint, because of the pressure from this piece sliding in, pushing in on it, this joint will never open up. If I cut two 45-degree corners in here and slid them in there together, it would open up and there's no amount of caulk or glue that I can put in there to keep that from expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting and opening up, you know, in the wintertime as the air gets dry, and then the summertime, you know, it's real humid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come down this line right here. I have marked on my paper where some of the studs were. Now, remember our wall studs. They are 16 inches on center. If I go down here and see kind of what lines up with the what color marks on my tape measure, that would be the red marks, right? I just spread that tape measure out down here, and I can see one of the marks I put on the paper, right with 8 feet, 96 inches, that's every 16 inches. You're going to want to nail this just about every 16 inches because of the fact that this baseboard, the drywall is not perfect, and there's waves in it and whatnot, and the baseboard will pull away from the wall a little bit. So try and hit it 2 nails every 16 inches. Right now I found where my 16 inches are. I just laid out my tape measure. There's a red mark. Here's a red mark. And in the end should be a 16-inch center also. So push that piece in nice and tight. Find that 16-inch mark. Should be just off to the side right there. Boom. You'll feel it when you hit it. Keep that bottom nail low. Okay? Now this side of my inside corner, my coped piece, I definitely want to nail, okay, because that's holding that thing into place. So now I just go down the line. I find my 32. It's my next red mark right there. Oh, you're kidding me. And my nail gun's screwed up. Check this out. It won't come off. I have to. Ah, this is the second time it's happened to me. But anyway, you nail it off, guys. And that's how we apply a baseboard. Look at that. Got a jammed nail coming out of there. Anyway, I'll be back with you in just a second.